So for the first 300 years after Isa alayhi salam, the celebration had no connection to Christianity. Rather, it was rooted in paganism and the winter solstice. And then it was instituted and ordered by the Western Church in the 5th century. So therefore, if the Christians have no basis in what they're celebrating, under what guise do the Muslims follow them in their ignorance? Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam was the final messenger, the final prophet, alayhi salatu wassalam, who was sent as a mercy to all of creation, a bringer of glad tidings to those who worship Allah alone, and a warner to the idolaters, the wrongdoers and the opposers of the prophets. Nadhirun Bashir, a bringer of glad tidings and a warner. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he was upon the methodology and the way and on the religion and upon the religion of the messengers and the prophets who came before him. Their religion is one. There's no distinction between the religion of the Prophet Muhammad and the religion of Isa or Musa or Ibrahim or Yunus or Yusuf or Nuh. All of the messengers and the prophets, their religion is one. And they are brothers one to another, though their mothers are different. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated in a hadith that there was not a prophet who came before me, except that it was a duty upon him to guide his people to whatever he knew of goodness for them, and to warn them from whatever he knew was evil for them. Then he said, alayhi salatu wassalam, indeed this nation of yours, its well-being is in its first part, and its latter part will be afflicted by tribulations and things that you will hate. Reported by An-Nasa'i, and the narration is authentic. So the best part of this ummah is its first part. Then the later generations will be afflicted. So just like the nations that came before, the earlier parts were pure because they were closer to their prophets and their messengers and their methodology and their beliefs. Then over generations, over centuries, the people, they became corrupted. So likewise, you find amongst the Muslims, the earlier generations, they were not engaged in these types of celebrations and customs and beliefs. But as the Muslims, they went through centuries and generations, then they started borrowing and taking from other customs because of their ignorance and because of their desires. And because of them being duped and brainwashed and indoctrinated into the ideologies of the kuffar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala perfected this religion through His Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's why He said alayhi salatu wa, this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in His book, Al-yawma akmaltu lakum deenakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-islam deena. This day I have perfected for you your religion. So Allah perfected Islam, perfected His religion by way of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and it is the religion that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with for you. It is completed. So we have no reason to change our gaze and shift our view and look at other religions and take on board their customs. This religion that is preserved up until Yawm al-Qiyamah makes no mention of the birthdays of the prophets or their celebration. It makes no mention of imitating the kuffar. Rather, it forbids from imitating the customs and the practices of the unbelievers. And this religion is preserved and it is pure. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. Indeed, it is we who sent down the revelation, and indeed, we will be its preserver. Allah has preserved it. He sent it down. And whomsoever does a deed that is not from this religion that Allah has sent down to the whole of mankind, then it will not be accepted. Any deed that you do that is not from this religion, it is rejected. Man amila amalan laysa alayhi amruna fahuwa rad. Whomsoever does a deed that is not from this religion of ours, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reject it.